G'day, AJ Mahara here. So in this video, I'd just like to briefly talk about what it really means. Never mind all the language, and I've said it before, but to stop focusing on the BPDX or, the BPD, NPD, parent, family of origin, family member, any relationship type. What do you really need to do? Plain and simple, right? It's not easy, but it's plain and simple what awaits you for you to choose. You need to turn away from the focus on the borderline, the narcissist, the chaos, the drama, are they just BPD or do they have 12 other things? But they did this and they did that, because you can work all that out in therapy, right? And I'm out here to help anybody who resonates with me. So, and I am back to work now. Today is July 31st. So, yeah. And I'm still working through things, but it's manageable, So, what people need to do to heal codependency, to heal from these relationships, to heal from any cluster B person in your life at any point in time, any relationship type. Stop focusing on them. Stop trying to mind all their business and what's wrong with it, because that sort of lusting after, like that continual focus, and like you think you need to get it so much more. Get them, understand them. What's the thing? No, you don't really. I mean, people need some of that for, working toward closure in therapy. But it's time to turn away from that focus, to shift away from what you thought was going to be something that it wasn't in your life. No matter the relationship type, again, I want to stress, because for adult children too, as well as exes, or friends, or like former friends, or former favorite people, or person of somebody with BPD. So what's really key is to turn, and it's very difficult. You need to take one action step with intent. And why do I say with intent? Because you can't just try it. Can't feel your way into it. It's never going to feel like the thing that you want to do, because you're really hurting. So you need to turn the focus onto you and away from everything else. All the books, all the, the ins and outs of the borderline, the narcissist, what everybody else got to say out there. Not everybody else, but I mean, people are saying accurate things, people are saying inaccurate things. It's all over the place. And not all people with BPD are the same. So, yeah, there's some core similar patterns, like I've said, but same for people with codependency, their own core similar or common patterns. Time to turn away from all of the noise, the escapism, the avoidance, the denial, the obsession, the ruminating, all the focus on all that. That might still be happening for you, the rumination, the cognitive dissonance, but with intent. That means from your head, no matter how painful things are right now, how bad you feel, it's time to make that one decision, one choice. Get into therapy. Don't waste any more time. It's never going to feel okay to start. You're not going to feel ready, not going to feel like it's all right now. You don't have to solve 15 things before you make that one choice. Make the one choice and then work on all those things. And if you resonate with me, I'm out here to help you. I have 31 years of experience. You can go to ajmahara.ca if you'd like to purchase book sessions or a session with me. I can really help you. Never mind my education, I have the lived experience. And even what I'm going through right now. I mean, I'm back to work. I'm on my feet, so to speak. Whatever. But it's time to turn in to the darkness, right? Turn into focusing on yourself. I'm not saying you are darkness. Turn into the focus that you need to on yourself, away from the cluster B. whoever they were in your life, and focus on the shadow work, the integrative work, the healing and recovery from the relationship in your family of origin and your childhood work. It is work. It is a process. It is a journey. It is a journey that I took a long time ago that's helping me very much to get through what I'm getting through now. I'm not saying I'm done, but it's a long way from the couple of videos I put up. The one July 22nd and the one, what was it, earlier today. That was just, again, to share processing of pain, and that no matter how much it hurts, and I was really hurting in the last clip I put up, but that's from July 21st, let me stress. I haven't been hurting like that since. I still cry a little bit. I still think about things. I'm still processing, but it's not the same because I already moved through that part. So just want you to know this is really doable, but you're not going to know how to do it till you get into therapy. And it's not going to feel like it's doable until you learn how to open up. And since I've been back to work, since, Wednesday, July 28th, I believe it was, whatever. Since I've been back to work and I eased in and and then Friday was a heavier client day load. And next week I'm Monday, August 2nd, even though it's a holiday here in Canada, I'll be working, and going forward now with a full client load and back to regular work. And the thing is, so I've already had a few clients this past week that had breakthroughs in their process because they told me that the longer video I shared, helped them to realize that the pain doesn't have to be as scary. And that was my purpose of putting it up, to hopefully just show people whatever you're dealing with, whatever you need to heal, whatever you need to turn and face, you can handle it. And definitely, I help clients to learn how to handle it, right? So, but I had several clients making, three clients that I spoke to out of a few more this past week because I was working more sort of easing in part-time over the last few days at this point in time, which is July, I think it's July 31st. Yeah. And so yeah, it's time to turn maybe from, I don't know, there's many ways to put from what, right? Not just from the cluster B, from your running, emotionally, unconsciously running from pain a lot of your life. If you have codependency, people are running from pain a lot more in their lives than they realize. So turn into the shadow, self-integrative, healing work that, people feel a lot during the work. But when I'm working with people during the process, when I'm working with clients, really can help clients learn skill sets of coping. Just as I was taught many years ago in therapy, 3+ decades ago, and then some. And, once you learn these skills and tools and you turn into that process, so there's a bit of a shadow element to this work, shadow self, the pain, what happened in childhood, why do you have codependency, which led you to the cluster B relationship and a significant other relationship? Are you the adult child, maybe with codependency, who has, a cluster B parent or two? No contact is so important, but a lot of people can't do that right away or don't know how to get there without first getting into therapy. So turning away from outer focuses and denial and all of that, and whether they're BPD or are they NPD or are they comorbidly both, or is it BPD with this 6 things or BPD with things that don't even make sense. But I know people are hearing all kinds of stuff out there as if it was proven or real science. But the bottom line is, you need to stop running away from your own wounded inner child, because all the rescuing, all the fixing, all the pursuing, all the enabling, all the chaos and the drama that you've gotten yourself into, which you didn't mean to or consciously do, or that you may still be going through, whether you're still in contact with that cluster B, whoever it is in your life or was in your life, or not, it's like, I understand what it feels like to be in a world of hurt and just think, oh my God, like, what am I going to do? I can't handle this. And, people do all kinds of things to not handle it, right? Avoid lots of ways of escapism. Some are very harmful to people. Some are just really not good for people. And the running and the focusing on the cluster B and all of that. And so if you turn into the process, which has an element of shadow work, self-integrative work, it's a multi-layered, multifaceted process of healing recovery from codependency in these relationships. But when you do that, you might feel like you're about to, topple off the side of the mountain kind of a feeling. Or you might be really lost and confused and not be thinking like there's something wrong with you more than codependency because you're not sure who you are anymore and you doubt yourself. And, I don't know if I can make a choice to go to therapy. I've had a lot of people say this to me. Like they'll purchase like one session in the beginning and then they'll want to work with me, but they'll be like, I don't know how to do this. I've never done this before in my life. This feels awkward. I don't know how to do this. Well, you take the first step and you get into therapy. And then I know when I work with clients, it flows from there because any questions, any difficulties, it's about building skill sets. But what I wanted to really say in this video was you're going to be turning into what's going to feel like, whether you're aware of it or not, soul darkness, a darkness, like a lostness, like so much pain you can't imagine. How are you going to get through this? But what's the alternative, right? Because the alternative is to continue to suffer and have your suffering increase. And then if you're like slipping into some bad habits of escapism, like drinking or other things or so when you turn into the darkness, I'm just using that as a metaphor of what you really need to heal and work out and work through in therapy. When you turn into that darkness of lostness, of however else I could describe it, you can maybe go further with that yourself. It's really the way to finding light again. And I'm not using this in a religious analogy, right? If you turn into the darkness, you're going to be walking toward the light of finding self, of healing and recovery and of feeling better. And so it's like, I would also kind of liken, making that one choice to go to therapy because you don't need anything besides therapy. Therapy encompasses within it so many different moving elements of ways to help people and ways that do help people. So it's also like breaking down in the process of healing recovery, breaking down, but to break open, to learn how to grieve, to learn how to be there for you, to really meet and greet your inner child in a way that is deep. And with family of origin work and all the other things I've been saying, and I could include and list off here, but there's many other aspects and facets of this healing recovery process. And when I work with people, I'm very easygoing with what each client needs and wants and where they're at. So some people really need to still talk about the cluster B a lot. You can pepper me with questions for session or half a sessions or all of sessions in the beginning, whatever you want, because it's your time, right? You book a session or sessions with me, it's your time, and I'm here to help you. I'm here to work with you. I'm here to partner with you so you can do the work that I can help you to do, to heal. So just know it's like all the language, right? The linguistic box on YouTube, the linguistic box of understanding on the internet, and maybe just in life in general. And people with codependency, after all this woundedness, etc., You know, I what I hear a lot from clients is, well, like I get asked questions sometimes like, well, should I text or not text? And then I talk about it with clients. I don't say, well, you should or shouldn't do this. I say, well, you know what, let's break that down, you know. And what are you thinking? How are you feeling? We examine all of these. That's just one question, right? But the point being that people have to work it through and process it. And when you've lived your life, and if you have codependency, you have lived your life on some level without ever feeling heard or seen. And you're missing something very important, and it's part of yourself with that wounded inner child. And so therapy, at least the way I work with clients, you're going to get seen and you're going to get heard. And it's really important to have your pain and your growth witnessed. And think of it as it's radical acceptance. It's letting go of what you can't control, but it's turning in to the process, making a choice. And yes, people second guess themselves with codependency endlessly. Starting to choosing someone to work with, or if I resonate with you, I'm out here to work with you. Booking that first session, starting the process. People are, they don't know. Should I text this person? Should I not? I know this and that. Because when emotions get into play, it doesn't matter how smart you are, how logical you are. It's very, very painful and difficult. So I just want to encourage people that the turning in to a sort of soul darkness, to this exploration and processing and healing journey in therapy that you might not even know what does that mean. Because I've had clients recently booking sessions, new clients going, I don't know, I've never done this before, but I'll give it a try because I can't stand the pain. Well, you're in enough pain already, and don't wait till it gets worse. Understand that breaking down isn't like breaking down, falling apart. It's breaking down to break open. And you deserve that opening. And you deserve to know who you really are. And you deserve to be able to find your way to becoming the independent person that you've always been meant to be. Anyway, turning away from the focus outward to putting the focus on you, turning away from all the focus on the cluster B, putting the focus on you and making a choice for you. Intent, and then one action. Get into therapy. And then after that, you can process everything. And when I work with clients, I'm an ally on that journey for you. I sometimes am educating people. I sometimes am just listening and witnessing, more often than not. But I can give you tools and skills. And just being seen and heard is a very powerful thing in the very beginning of people's healing and recovery journeys. So I hope that you're ready. No, you might not be ready. But I hope that maybe you'll make a choice for yourself soon. Like today, if not tomorrow or yesterday. To invest in yourself, literally. And to put the focus on yourself. Get into therapy, one action step. And if I resonate with you, you can go to ajmahar.ca, purchase a session. I'm back at work. I'm flowing. Everything is flowing fine. It's not a tremendous weight. Things are, I'm still pretty busy, but it's not like when I got backlogged at Christmas. But anyway, so I hope that's helpful. And I just really want to keep stressing the message that what you're going to turn away from, you already know, right? But what you're turning toward when you do that one step, you get into therapy, well, that's scary. That could feel overwhelming because you're not familiar with where that might, you might not know where that's going to take you. You're not familiar with that emotional landscape, but you so need to be, and you so deserve to be. So I hope that's helpful to someone out there, and I hope more importantly that it might motivate some of you to really make this choice for yourselves and get into therapy. And like if I resonate with you, I would be more than happy to work with you. But if I'm not the fit for you, make sure you find somebody who's an expert in this area, understands the personality disorders, codependency, all the dynamics, and the family of origin dynamics, and just know that you can do it, and that you're worth it, and that it is the one way to go forward to working through, so that you can change your suffering, and you can get to know yourself fully, and you can move forward in your life in a way that it's very painful that you haven't been able to yet. So I hope that's helpful. Take care.